Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth. In truth, righteousness, and sincerity to you I say Shalom. The title of this lesson will be The Curse That Goeth Forth over the face of the whole earth. That's pursuant to Zechariah, the 5th chapter, verse 3, right? Going into these so-called UFOs, as we know to be as the chariots of the Lord, right? The vehicles of our salvation. But I got an article that I got pulled up right here, pretty much going into how there's been, we're showing the map of certain hot spots throughout the United States of UFO sightings. And, these sightings have been reported more and more frequently, 2020 and up, especially now that people got, their eyes in the sky now, because ever since the United States government, came out with saying that UFOs are real, right? Or now they call them UAPs, right? Unidentified aerial phenomena, right? So, but they admitted it. They admitted that these are real. These vehicles are real, right? Which we know them, like I said, we know them to be the angels of the Lord, right? The chariots. And I'm just going to read a little bit into this article and get some precepts. But it says, this is from Newsbreak. It says, UFO map shows extraterrestrial reporting hotspots in the United States. It says, this informative map shows the areas of the United States with the most reports of UFO sightings. The data was compiled by the National UFO Report Center based on sightings that were officially registered between 2020, from between 2000 and 2023. It says the nonprofit organization collates and investigates reports of supposed extraterrestrial and unidentified flying object sightings. Their detailed map shows the number of UFO sightings per 100,000 in each U.S. country over 23 years. It says the map says that the biggest UFO hotspot in the United States is Lincoln County, Nevada. This is the area where the infamous Area 51, a military base that has long been rumored by conspiracy theorists to host extraterrestrial and alien technology, is located. So right here it shows the map. Right. Now, of course, it tells you that there's certain hotspots, like in Nevada, where it's more frequent, right? But as we can see through this map, the chariot sightings are all over, predominantly over here, in the what you would call the New England area, right? You have Maine, Connecticut, New York, right? New Jersey, pretty much Washington, D.C., all these areas, right? Pretty much all throughout the whole country, right? But it says pretty much more frequent sightings would be like in Nevada, and I believe it shows more too right here, as I'm going to go into. It says, according to the NU, or the New Force database, Lincoln County saw 820.9 UFO sightings per 100,000 residents, which is the highest in the United States. Next up is the top three UFO hotspots next up in the top three UFO hotspots were Arthur County, Nebraska, with 618.6 reports per 100,000 residents, and Alpine County in California, with 594.1 sightings per 100,000 residents. Studying this map shows certain trends. UFO sightings are more prevalent along the western coastline and southern regions of the United States. There's a theory that some of these locations see more UFO reports because there is less light pollution and therefore clear skies, making it easier to spot potential extraterrestrial craft. Con, but again, these vehicles, the so-called UFOs, they're everywhere. You know, there's been sightings everywhere, even over here in Charlotte. Brothers have been seeing them, spotting them, right? You even got sightings, throughout all across the world. And here show sightings over here up here in Canada. You got sightings in Mexico, you got sightings South America, Central America, right? Russia, Ukraine, all over the place, you know. But this is pretty much a curse unto Esau. As a matter of fact, let me get this. This is Zechariah chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, "Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits." So what Ezra saw here was pretty much a cigar-shaped UFO, or what they call the Tic Tac, right? UFO. Pretty much twice as long as it is wide, right? But it says, and he said unto me, and he said, Salakia, then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth, right? Because this is a curse unto Esau. These chariots, or these angels are pretty much taunting Esau. These are signs of Esau's impending doom. A force that Esau is not going to be able to defeat. In the scriptures it tells us that they're going to go to war. The dragon and his Michael and his angels, and the dragon and his angels. They're going to fight, but they're going to prevail not, as the scripture says in Revelation, right? But this is, ultimately, these UFOs are pretty much taunting Esau, man. That they're pretty much a shadow over America, right? They're casting a shadow upon Esau's kingdom, and Esau feels like, which he knows, he knows they're a threat. That's the reason why they're building up their space force. You got certain weaponries that they're trying to, or we know that they're working on, right? You already know they got some laser type of technology. We've seen them use it over, Hawaii and, Chile, right? And we're going to start seeing them use, whenever that time comes, when Esau's kingdom is ready to be brought down, they're going to fight against these so-called chariots. I mean, it's like so-called UFOs. And they're going to be using all this type of technology against them. But again, like I said, they're going to fail miserably, right? I'm going to read this again. It's Zechariah 5 and 3. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. And I also remember, I believe it was the coronation, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, that's what it was. Or something having to do with over there in Europe, with the king and the queen. I believe it was the coronation of, that bastard King Philip or whatever. Self-proclaimed king, right? When they were doing the ceremony and the jets came by, a chariot, whizzed by, the jets. Just a sign that, hey, we're watching, right? The angels are watching. They're keeping an eye on everything, right? They're the eyes of the Lord. But it says right here, For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, said Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. Now, who's the thief? Who's the one that stole everything that he has? Who's the one that stole the children of Israel and has them in his possession to this day? Esau Edom, so-called white man. And it says, and in the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall not remain in the midst of his house. Also like it, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof, and with the stones thereof. Exactly. Because when that time comes, them chariots are going to come down in America and upon, Esau's, pretty much Esau's reign, right? Esau's kingdom, that is uh, westernized, kingdoms, lifestyle, whatever, right? Pretty much Esau's hegemony is going to be brought down, um, first and foremost, of course, by the chariots, and then by the ICBMs, right? Predominantly here in America. America is going to be wiped off the face of the earth, to where there ain't going to be no remains left. You ain't going to be able to recognize where any of the landmarks or the landlines are, where North Carolina was, where New York was. You ain't going to be able to tell that, right? But again, going back to this is pretty much going into the lasers, right? The intense power of the chariots, which is going to consume, Esau, Edom, right? His whole house, meaning his whole kingdom, right? He's going to knock Esau off that throne, right? And, it's going to be handed over unto Yahushua, right? Let's see. Let's get, because I quoted it. Let's get Second Chronicles, chapter 16. We're going to jump down to verse 9. It says, for the eyes of Yahweh run to and fro throughout the whole earth, to show himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect toward him. Right? So, these is talking about the chariots, right? The angels. They run to and fro, keeping an eye and keeping tabs on everything, right? And reporting it back to, the Most High. But it says to show himself strong in behalf of them whose heart is perfect toward him. Right, because, the Most High shows his might through his mighty ones, the angels, right? And soon, he's going to show his might through us, right? The elect, but pertaining to this, we're seeing that these chariots are so fast, they zip in and out. They can materialize and dematerialize. They can, go underwater without making a splash. The laser beams, you go into all that. Pretty much it baffles. It baffles, Esau scientists. It baffles these military men that are in those jets, you have that report of the Tic Tac one, right? These airmen were pretty much baffled. They were confounded. They didn't know what they were looking at. They didn't know what was going on, right? It was too much for them. And that's exactly how it's going to be whenever they fight against the angels. It's going to be too much. It's going to be overwhelming, right? They ain't going to stand a chance, right? But, again, just showing the power that these angels got. Imagine the power of our Lord, or of the Most High, Yahweh, right? That's what the scriptures call him, being omnipotent, right? All powerful, all knowing, right? But it says, herein thou hast done foolishly, therefore from henceforth thou shalt have wars. As this is going into, I believe it's King David, if I'm not mistaken. King David or Saul, I can't remember. But that was pretty much the point on that, right? Pretty much on the angels, right? Now let's see, let's get Revelation chapter 1, because, in Zechariah, it described it as a roll. Pretty much going into, like I said, that cigar-shaped, a cigar-shaped chariot, or the tic tac chariot. To show you images of that. But also in the scriptures, it calls them clouds, right? Um, what else is it called? A pillar of light, right? But it says, Revelation 1:7, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. This is going into the return of Hamashiach, Yahushua. It says, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Aman, right? He's coming with those clouds, those chariots, multitudes and multitudes of chariots, right? Of course, Yahushua, he's going to come in his massive fathership, but he's also going to have, excuse me, he's also going to have his host of angels that's going to fight alongside him. Thousands and thousands, thousands upon thousands, man. They're going to come down and swarm the skies, right? And every eye shall see him. Everybody's going to witness this, man. Everybody's going to witness this. Just as you have sightings now, people are witnessing, the angels. For a long time, people have been calling UFO believers, sea theorists, or I forget what they call them, kooks or whatnot, right? Calling them crazy. Hey, but now, hey, the government has come out saying that, hey, they're real. They're real, and they're investigating them. They're keeping tabs on them. They're recording them. They selected a task force for them, and now you got a space force that eventually is going to go and try to combat them. So it's obviously that these are a real threat unto Esau, right? These are a real threat unto Esau, and Esau knows it. Esau's getting prepared because he knows the time is short. Right? He knows the time, we're approaching that time where he's going to have to, battle against, these beings, right? But it says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. Just like in the movie Independence Day, right? The big, what they called mothership, right? Came, cracked the earth, cracked the skies, and, started blasting people. It's exactly how it's going to happen. Exactly how it's going to be. That beginning scene of Independence Day, that's how it's going to be. Similar to that, right? But it says, and they also which pierced him, and all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Aman, right? All non-believers, all wicked Israelites, all the heathen, right? They're going to wail because that's going to be their destruction. That's going to be their doom, their death. Because Yahushua, he ain't coming, to make no peace agreement. He's coming to destroy. He's coming to kill. He's coming to make war. He ain't coming in peace. Right? So let's get another one. The reason we already went into how, it's going into clouds. But like I said before, this is going into our deliverance. Let's get 1 Thessalonians 4:16, because the elect are going to get beamed up into those chariots. It says let me see, actually. Where should I start at? I'll start at 15. It says, for this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. So those that died in the truth, they're going to be the first ones to rise up. Those that also will became martyrs for the word, for Yahushua's sake, they're going to rise up first. And it says, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds. So the rest of the elect, you know, especially here in America, they're gonna be caught up. They're gonna be caught up in them clouds, in those chariots, right? It says to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Exactly. And that's gonna be the deliverance. That's gonna be our salvation, being taken out of this hell that we're living in, Esau's kingdom, you know, our captivity, and being snatched up at the moment of this place being destroyed and being taken up, right? And eventually coming back down in the land of, coming back down to earth and being established, right, as New Jerusalem, right? Now let me get another one. Let's get Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, and verse 2, it says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for, right? Because a lot of people, they can't fathom, they can't believe that this is going to take place. This is going to happen. You know, for a long time, people have been, you know, dismissing people that witnessed UFOs, that witnessed the chariots, right? And you know, seen them zip in and out, you know, transform in the air, you know, hover for a period of time. They would dismiss them as being crazy, you know. But here it is, your leaders have came out in the open and said, you know, these are true. But even yet, the people, you know, nothing really happened, you know, amongst the people. You know, there wasn't no great, you know, like, I don't know. I guess, you know, what I expected whenever they came out and announced this was for people to be more afraid, right? But people are just still, you know, in this sleep state, and this type of darkness, to where, you know, really they've been desensitized, you know, through these movies and all whatnot. You know, they don't really, you know, they ain't all there really mentally. They're so focused on the troubles that's going on here in America, you know, the economic woes and the, having to deal with their own struggles, their own problems, plagues, and things of that time. You know, you had the C-19 going on, so you have all these things going on that, you know, it didn't really, you know, shock them, right? But, you know, to us that believe, you know, we understand that these are the chariots of the Lord, you know, and they're a curse unto the heathen and to 2/3, you know. Shit, whenever we see a chariot, man, hey, we give praise to the Most High. And especially when that time comes, we're definitely going to be giving praise to the Most High. Whenever our salvation comes, yeah, man. Whenever that time comes, though, hey, 2/3, hey, they're going to be crying and wailing, man. They're going to be scared. Right? There was a precept. Let me see if I can get it. Right here. Luke 21. Let me see. I'll start at, well, it says right here, the return of Mashiach. Right? Luke 21:25, it says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth distress of nations. Isn't that what's happening? Right? And isn't there gonna be a solar eclipse soon? Right? Which in the sky is gonna mark Tha, right? Which means the end. It's a Hebrew letter for end, right? But it says, upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity. Let me get this word perplexity. This is aporeia, and it means a state of one who is perplexity, who is in perplexity. Okay, well, I guess that ain't gonna give me it. Let me see this. Aporeo, perplex. Okay, so this is doubt. Be perplexed, stand in doubt. To be without resources, to be in straits, to be left wanting, to be embarrassed, to be in doubt, not to know which way to turn. That's exactly how the people are going to be. They ain't going to know which way to turn, man. They ain't going to know where to go to find any comfort, to find any cover. Right? They're going to be left without resources, literally. Right? Because when the time comes, hey, there's going to be a famine of food, a famine of water, shit, famine of this word. People ain't going to be able to come and you know, have easy access to the truth, if any, right? Besides the elect. But it says to be at loss with oneself, be in doubt, not to know how to decide or what to do, to be perplexed, right? People ain't going to know what to do, man. People are not going to have an idea of how to maneuver in these times. They're going to have no solution to their problems. Shit, Jake in general, man. Jake don't know how to survive out here. Like even just a natural survival ability. Jake doesn't even know how to, go gather water. You'll have Jake go and drink straight out of a river, end up poisoning them, man. Not knowing that, hey, you just had recently all these train derailments, all these chemicals and shit in the water. You have the what's it called, the chemtrails that Esau be spraying throughout the earth. Jake don't even know how to filter water out. Jake probably don't even know how to make a fire, man, without having a lighter. But even if you did, even if you do know how to survive, you don't know the proper way to walk. You don't know, you don't have the covering of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? Which is ultimately going to have you, what? Perplexed. So let's go back. It says, let me see, what was I? It says Luke 21:25, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing for them for fear, or men's hearts failing them for fear, right? People gonna be having heart attacks, man. I mean, just imagine a big ass ship the size of I was gonna say size of planet, but there was a video earlier a couple years back from Dabu 7. If brothers know who that is, uh, pretty much he brought up a video how there was some kind of ship, right, with the letter Tha, right, X, the Tha on it, which means the end, right? And it was pretty much the size of, I think he said like 50 Earths or 20 Earths, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere along those lines. But just imagine something as big as a planet, right, coming heading towards Earth and parking right on top of Earth. Hey, people gonna have heart attacks from seeing that, man. It's gonna block out the sun. It's gonna block out the moon, the stars, all that. People gonna be terrified. They ain't gonna know what they're seeing. They ain't gonna know what they're looking at. Going back to Wisdom of Solomon, right? And I'm gonna get back to that too. I don't think I finished it. But it says, men's heart failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, right? Which is again the angels, right? Yahweh Shah. You got these uh what's it called, astrologers. If I'm not I can't remember the word. People that are like in the observatory, right? They're checking out the stars, checking out the heavens, right? Looking at the coming of, keeping track of, the chariots. Because you already know that's what Esau's doing. Ain't no way you're gonna have all that equipment looking up into the stars, to the heavens, deep into space, and not be interested in the chariots, right? Esau, no, Esau, got that technology, Salakia. Esau got that technology to do exactly that, to keep an eye on the coming of our Lord. But it says, "For the powers of heaven shall be shaken, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory." Again, that cloud, man, that chariot with power and great glory, man. That's exactly what they're looking for, man. They're looking to see when Yahweh Shah is going to come. And you best believe that they're terrified. They're scared. You know? That's why you had that, I made a video on it. Can't remember, I think it was last week or earlier this week. Going into how Ronald Reagan made a speech, going into touching on can't remember exactly word for word, but pretty much going into how there's an alien threat, how they would gather together and fight against this common threat, which of course he's talking about Yahweh Shah and the angels. That's that alien force that he's talking about in that speech. But let's see. Let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon. It's Wisdom of Solomon 5:2. It says, "When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear." Right? They're gonna be terrified, man. Best believe, Salakia. Best believe they're gonna be terrified. Everything that they witnessed in movies, World of Worlds, right? All these movies is gonna happen in reality. It says, "And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for." Right? Because they ain't gonna expect this to happen. This is something that to them is out of a sci-fi film, fantasy, right? Make believe. But now this is spoken about in the scriptures, and this is exactly how the men of the Lord are going to be delivered. Verse 3, it says, "And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, This was he whom we had sometimes in derision, in the proverb of reproach." Hey, because best believe, these heathen, hey, they make fun of us. Shit, even Jake, 2/3 of Jake, the unbelieving Jake, wicked ass Jake, they make fun of the elect. We out here telling them that these chariots are going to come and beam us out of here, that they're the vehicles of our salvation, hey, and they laugh. They laugh, they scorn, right? They mock us, calling us crazy, bugged out, whatever, man. Right? But this is a thought that to them is what's that word? I guess you could say unbelievable, right? How can this black person, or how can this Hispanic person, Native American person, be chosen as to be taken up, be saved, or even the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shah. When they see him, right, they're gonna be like, this is God, this is Jesus, right? Verse 4, it says, "We fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor." Right? That's how they view us, man. It says, how is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot is among the saints." Exactly what I said, man. They feel like, we're gonna die here. That Jake is just gonna die here, and It's the same cycle is going to continue on over and over again. Jake continuously being in this oppressed state. Jake continuously being at the bottom of the totem pole. Continuously being the butt of the joke. But now this thing is coming to an end. And then it's gonna be your turn, Esau. Right? So now I'm gonna close it out with this last precept. This is Revelation 21 and verse 1. It says, "And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea." It says, "And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband." Right? That new holy city isn't physically talking about an actual city. This is going into uh, the people, right? The elect that make up Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a people before a place, right? So here John saw the elect coming down, getting beamed down. Salakia. Salakia. I had to drink a little bit of water. But it says, and I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, "Behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them, and be their power. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death." Why is there going to be no more death? It's going to be no more death to the elect, right? To Israel, there's going to be no more death. To the rest of the heathen, yeah, they're still going to die. But to us, there isn't. We ain't going to die. Because we're going to have the laws in our inward parts, right? The wages of sin is death, as it is written. But we ain't going to sin no more. So, of course, death is going to have no power over us. We're going to be as gods again, right? But it says, "Neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away." So this way that we're living right now is going to be, just a bad dream. Us dying, us always going off, us always, dealing with trouble, pains, and the curses being upon us. It's everything is going to be, wiped away. And a new kingdom, like it says in the verse 1, a new heaven and a new earth. It's going to be all new. Everything's going to be renewed, right? Verse 5, it says, "And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new." That's right. He's going to make all things new, man. Everything is going to be new again. And this time it's going to be ruled in righteousness. It says, "And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful." You see? True and faithful. So these things are going to happen and they're going to come to pass. Right? But, just to go back to the article, this is why we're seeing a lot more and more of these sightings, all over the place. And because the end is near. Our salvation, as the scripture says, our salvation is nearer than we believed. Let me see if I can get it. Salakia, bear with me. Why ain't this working? All right, here. Romans 13 and verse 11, it says, "And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed." Exactly. So now's the time to wake up. You know, now's the time to depart from wickedness, depart from evil. And cleave unto our Lord Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, because otherwise we're gonna be left behind. And you don't want to be left behind, right? You want that salvation. You want that covering, that covering, right? And eventually, again, our salvation, our salvation, getting beamed up, having a seat in one of those chariots, right? So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. I pray this lesson was edifying. I'm gonna close it out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachaha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who taught me this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect, pushing His word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. To USA, Shalom.